What's up, YouTube channel? It's Tars down again, y'all. Go hard or go home channel. All right, y'all, check it out. Today, before I go do my little mediocre workout in the gym, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about hypergamy, okay? Somebody left me some comments about it, you know what I'm saying, on one of the videos I made called The Problem with Hypergamy, okay? Some guys are saying like, hey, most guys are just average workers. I'm gonna talk about that today. I got a chart. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about, okay? So this is hypergamy. Defended, defined, debunked, okay? When I say defended, this is how you're gonna defend against hypergamy or exploit it, okay? That's gonna be part of this video. I'm gonna define hypergamy. What's going on with it once we get over here to this chart, okay? I'm going to debunk some theories that guys have that this junk is just holding them back. They can't do nothing. They can't do nothing, and it's just not the truth. All right? Y'all hit like, subscribe, share. If y'all like what y'all getting, or at the end of the video, y'all hit it then. Let's roll, okay? So, I'm going to start this off with a comment that I got on the problem with hypergamy. All right? Let me move that up there. All right, shout out to Stanley Leo. I appreciate the comment, homie. I hope you check this video out and you get to see what's going on and leave your comments, because that's what my channel is about. I don't do that cash apps and all the other good junk. All right. So he's telling me he gets that my view that hypergamy has always existed, but he thinks I'm missing a key element, and it's the fact that most men are average workers. Okay. Nothing more, nothing less. And most women need to understand that, because as they're chasing 1% man, they get older and older. It's that they're trying to win the lottery. Of course, men to level up need to level up, but women's idea of leveling up for a man is a fantasy, and that's not the truth, guys. It's just not the truth. All right? And I can understand that there's some guys are saying that women got like some really high standards. We're about to explain that right here with this chart, okay? We're about to move over into this chart. Somebody was saying thank you, and the wealth gap is widening. Hey, guys, the wealth gap is widening. That's why your ass need to be figuring out how to get more money. See, this ain't a black man's problem, a white man's problem, an Asian man's problem. A Hispanic man's problem is not, because it's not a color problem, okay? Well, it is a color problem, but the two colors that y'all worried about, the colors y'all worried about are the wrong ones. Y'all need to be worried about green, you need to be worried about money, and pink. And women, all that color, the same color. No matter what color they are on the outside, it's pink where it counts, okay? Telling y'all that right now. So, you know, I agree most men are average workers. This is why I'm coming back to them, and then we're going to go over to the chart. I agree that most men are average workers, but that doesn't mean women have to settle for that, okay? Now, I'm working on a video for this exact subject, which is the one that you're watching right now. Hypergamy, defended, defined, debunked. It should come out May 1st, 2023. That you see down here at the bottom. That's what the day is. We're working on that now. All right, check it out. Give your views. If you watch this right now, give your views. Let me know what you think. And especially because most people got some good points. Stanley has some good points. He had some good points, but the problem with the points is this right here. Then we're going to move over into this thing. All right, y'all, guys got to start leveling up better. I'm going to talk about this a lot in this chart. Okay, guys got to start leveling on up. This thing about women and their idea for guys to level up is bullshit. That's not the truth. Okay, a lot of guys can make it to different levels. We're finna go over that with this chart. We fire up the blunt. That's why I'm finna put out the chart, because people they like to try to talk smack, because I be smoking this shit. I'm not and drinking a beer, but hey, if the real is the real. Here we go. All right, now I got this chart, guys, from a site. Some college site, some kind of college or university type thing or whatnot. Let me see if this right here is going to stay on top of that. That's not what I wanted. But either way as it goes, I got this chart And no, that's not going to work. So we'll leave it right here. So I got this chart. I'm going to put myself at the bottom of the chart so I can kind of talk about it from up here. All right. So this right here, they're talking about hypergamy. All right. They were doing this. They're doing a study on this. Why they have to study this junk, I don't understand. Because it's basically pretty much cut and dry. It's stuff that people should have understood from high school, but they're still acting like they don't. So if you look at this right here, of course, you got this pink pyramid. That's going to be the ladies. And you got this blue pyramid. It's going to be the guys. Those arrows between there are showing you who goes where. See that? Let's go over it real quick a little bit. Just talk about it some, then build some talking points from it. Okay? As y'all can already see, women have the choice to go up. This is the main thing that's the problem for guys with hypergamy. All right? It's the definition of it, okay? Marrying up. Having relationships in a up. Okay, you're not friends with your coworkers, you're friends with your boss. That's a hypergamous type of relationship. And I kind of want to bring that up because they keep talking about guys are average workers, and I understand that. But what I want to point out right quick before we really get into this, because you might be average workers, but you got to understand, guys, when you get to that house, you and this woman are calling yourselves on the same level. So it's the same thing as when you're at work. If you are working with a guy who's, you're working with a guy that's not above you, all right? You're probably not going to take orders from this person. You're probably going to tell them to shut up. When they start talking to you about things, you're probably going to be like, hey, shut the fuck up. You don't make more money than me. You're not this and that. And that's what's happening in your house. And it's going to keep happening to you. That's why I'm defining and debunking some of these damn theories so y'all can start, you got to fix this. Okay? Y'all just saw this guy give me a doggone comment about the wage gap is widening. Yes, y'all better get on the other side of it because women are going to do that. This chart is showing you. Kevin Samuels showed you. They're going to get to the other side. They got vaginas. They coming to this side of shit. You can stay on the other side if you want to. The women are going to come over here. I am telling you that's what's going to happen. And this chart is showing you that. So let's talk a little bit about some of those things. Now, look down here, this bottom 30%, guys. All right. This is a little bit different on both sides. All right. This bottom 30%, a lot of guys, when they're talking, what they want to do is they want to go from this bottom 30%. You see, here's the deal. All this bottom lower 20%. But as you can see, the lower 20%, the only people who have a chance of going up from the guy side is the ones who are in the bottom 30%. They might can get a woman from the lower 20% of women. They might can do that. Okay. And you see it every day. This is where you got your guys on the manosphere complaining about Pookies, Ray Rays, Chads. That's what you got. Okay? That's that bottom 30% of guys that got nothing to give these women. This is one of the people talking about, oh, he can sleep on her couch and she won't care. Yeah, because she got her little job, she'll take care of that. Because she's in the lower 20%. Now, see, she might be getting checked at by the top 10% of guys. Because they checking for this too. Top 10%, the top of guys have access to all the women. Okay? Guys are complaining about this. But here's the thing. Why not just get more money? This is like almost as simple as getting a promotion at freaking work. It don't even really got nothing to do with dang on women. If you increase your job, you're going to be good. But this is what happens, okay? Here goes another thing. You get these guys that get maybe right here, and this, right here, right up under right here. This is like that lower top 10%. You see what I'm saying? Of the upper, you know what I'm saying? Of the lower people. because all this is lower. And all this is lower. When women looking at it, all this is lower. Okay? Guys might be like, okay, this and this. Women ain't doing that shit. You either this or you fucked up. That's how women look at it. I'm sorry to have to say it. Guys keep trying to, just like this other guy to do, the comment that I just read before we even started this conversation right here. The guy kept saying, women got to understand, women don't got to understand shit. They don't understand shit, they don't care, and they haven't since the beginning of time. Y'all trying to enforce rules on women. Y'all are idiots for that, okay? God tried to enforce rules on women. Guess what he did? Broke them. Adam and Eve, the first story of damn mankind. The woman breaking the rules. The one set down by God himself. So what makes you think they're going to follow your rules? They're not. They haven't. They're not going to. They ain't doing it now. Okay? Not going to happen. What's more logical for guys is to look at this damn chart and understand that the closer I get myself to this freaking top, then I'm going to be able to have some choices. As long as you're not hearing this lower bottom guys, and a lot of guys, they think they're the lower 20%. You're not. You ain't, bro. You ain't. Women don't categorize men like that. If they got two categories. You got it or you don't. Okay? If you working, you ain't got it. If you making payments on shit, you ain't got it. If you got to get your ass up out of your house and go to somebody else's job to be able to put food on the table, you don't have it to women. I am telling you now. They only doggone, that's another part of the definition. Guys need this shit defined to the point of understanding how women see it. You only got two fucking choices with women. You got it or you don't. Well, how do you know that's true, Taurus? Well, you watch this freaking Manosphere every morning. And that's what they're saying. Women won't follow the rules. Women won't go. I know. Well, they should understand because no, women don't do that. They don't do that. Also, here, let me hit the pay attention button. I just pointed out to y'all, right? It's easier to walk to the top of this goddamn thing than it is for you to try to change women. It's easier for you to change your doggone position at work. It's easier for you to change your position with money than it is for you to change women. Okay? God couldn't change women. You ain't doing it. Nope. This system exists because women are designed, because they carry the kids, because they are the ones, you know what I'm saying, birthing the families and stuff. They have to try to get to the point where they're going to have resources to do this with. It's not bad. It's just that you got a bunch of lazy guys that really don't want to work for this shit. That's really what it is. I can't get no more real than that. Okay. Y'all seen the comment. Y'all already know the comments. Y'all seeing them. It's people, women gotta understand this. Women, no. As long as guys keep trying to make women understand, you're gonna have a problem. The guys that don't have a problem with women don't try to make women understand. We don't try to understand them. Okay. If you do this, she does this. That's how you that's how you have to start living it. You don't understand why. You just have to know that this person likes this right here. She likes this. I don't know why. But when I give her this right here happens. It's just that simple. Guys, and ladies, if it's ladies watching, you pay attention to this. Look, the bottom 30% of women, guys, can still go to the damn near the top 10% of men. This down here is bobbleheads, guys. But this is because women only got to bring sex to the table. It's all they have to bring to the table. They don't have to bring money to the table, and that's part of the problem. They guys are misunderstanding. It's always been this way. It ain't never gonna change. That's why the dude was saying, yeah, it always existed, but it's not gonna change either. The wealth gap is widening. I heard him, homie. I heard you. I heard you. Let me click it up here real quick. The wealth gap is widening. I heard you, homie. It ain't gonna change shit. It's not changing anything. The only thing that this is changing with this wealth gap widening is this right here. Okay? These guys at the top that are already going towards that junk and getting it and making sure they got the money and stuff right there are gonna have it easier than you, because that's what happened with me. When I got the 40 and shit, see, because I changed certain things. These jokers down here was all buying rims and all the other good shit, trying to look a certain type of way. I was gonna get that money so I could be a certain type of way. See, it doesn't, Kevin Samuels keep telling the guys, hey, if you're 20 years old, eat shit till you're 30. That's about what I did, guys. I got married when I was 20, something, 24, 25. That didn't really work out. But I stayed focused on my job mostly and trying to progress and keeping my money right. Lo and behold, come 40 years old. Because ain't nobody trying to hear that at 40. 35, 40 years old, ain't nobody trying to hear that. I'm talking to the guys right now. Nobody trying to hear about you being broke at 30 or 40 years old. Nobody's trying to hear it. Your homeboys ain't gonna want to hang out with you because you can't afford to buy a beer. You can't afford to buy shit every time you go to the bar. You got to get paid for. And women ain't gonna hang out with you because they gotta pay. It's the same shit. You may not become a millionaire. I was watching the video the other day. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a video right after this one. It's gonna be my second video for the day. I'm gonna drop that one and I'm gonna do the because they were talking about women outpacing men, and that there's no proof of it, this and that. More manosphere manure, cow shit, bull shit. When they say outpacing men, they don't mean that women is making way more money than you. They don't mean that. What they mean is more women are in the workplace and in positions like management and stuff where men used to try to be at all the times. And guys not even going for those positions no more. They just being content with being a worker because they're like, well, I'm not going to be able to get the girl anyway because the manager is telling them that. And then, but no, I'm telling you, you increase that fucking pay, this right here is going to happen. It's going to happen. That's why I pulled up the chart. Okay? That bottom 30% of women can still, let me show y'all. Women, the bottom women don't got to take you. Instead of that being something that pisses you off, it should be something that informs you. It should be something that's informing you that I don't need to be down here at this bottom 30%. I need to at least get up in here. This bottom 30% is regular jobs too, guys. It's regular jobs. It's jobs that they ain't making at least about somewhere between $15 to $20 an hour. And 15 is pushing it because of the way the economy is. The guy just got done telling me in the comment. He just said it again. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say it again about that comment right there. I'm going to show the comment again. Here we go. And he's not lying. The wealth gap is widening. That guy's telling the truth. I hearted it. But the whole thing of it is that's not supposed to stop you as a guy. You're supposed to get across that damn gap. What a lot of guys doing is complaining about that gap, and then they're not trying to doggone close it. So, here's another thing about hypergamy, okay? Now, we're looking at this chart. Because we looked at these arrows for a long time, guys. Look, the top 10% of women only going to go to the top. Here's another thing that guys, they look at. And women need to understand. Women can understand this. They can see it. But certain things you say, I wouldn't say they need to understand it, but it will behoove them to know. Okay? The higher the woman climbs on this, the lower her options get. See, the higher the guy climbs on it, the more options he gets. And even at the bottom, they can't go to this part. They can't go up here. Anybody that gets up here has access to everything from the 20, but they will not bother this. It will not bother the bottom percent. It's showing it to you right here. The bottom level of women, nope. This right here is when you get women like in the top 10%, right, complaining, and they'll be like, well, I make 6 figures. I'm a PhD. I'm about to get that. I'm a PhD. Okay? I'm a PhD. But he, who is also a PhD or whatever or whatnot, you know what I'm saying, didn't take me because he's got the option to not take you. He could take from anywhere right here. And most guys that have gotten to this top part understand that thing that I said about being at work. If this joker makes just as much money as you, it's going to be a bunch of head knocking at the house. That's why you see it can go back and forth, and these two will try to go up here too. And but these guys, for the majority of them, and this is what you be hearing about from these women because they be on, especially on Kevin Samuels and all these other channels that you got on YouTube. This is what you be hearing about from these women. They are upset that these guys right here are taking like these women. You know what I'm saying? That goes into the whole. It's basically that thing I just said about, hey, look, I already know this joker makes just as much money as me. It's going to be a bunch of head knocking at the house because it's hypergamy. That's how hypergamy works. It works the same way. It's not just in relationships where it's romantic. This shit works the same way in real life. Anybody that's beneath you, you ain't going to take orders from. And anybody that's above you, then that's cool. That's why you got the guys at the bottom. They be upset. Well, these women, they'll just do whatever these guys want. Yeah, that's who they're targeting. That's what they see as the boss. Hypergamy is more about who's the chief than anything else. All right? If you're happy being just one of the Braves, well then, stay down here. Don't climb to the top of the totem pole. Okay? How you defend against this? Because I said I'm going to defend. Here's defense. Guys, you need to go take your ass to work or your business or whatever. And you need to figure out how to make that shit pump as much money into your pocket as possible. And you need to be keeping a lot of it. You don't start having the choice of all women until you start getting up here. Now that top 10% is different too. I want to tell y'all about that one. Okay? That's not millionaires like how people think. You could be at the top 10% of your area. This is where a lot of guys start talking about too. It's like, okay, well, she thinks that this guy's got that, but that's in y'all's area. He's got pretty much. If you got more than him for y'all area, then she'd have no problem with that. She'd have to look at that. The problem with this shit is that people are complaining about the money side of it. This is just like a bird complaining that my feathers, the women, the girl birds, they want the red feathered guys, and mine, they're not as red as everybody else. Homie, you might want to find you some dye or do something. Because you don't look like what they want. This is the problem with this thing. That's what I was talking about, the problem with hypergamy, but it's one of the things that made me go find this chart so I could actually talk about it and show it in the studies. And you don't need the studies to tell you this. You should know this shit. Well, they know it. It's this thing they're complaining about every day. But the problem is they don't solve the issue. The issue is for you as the guy to solve this issue. You need to get to the top. You need to get as high as you can. I keep saying in all my videos, if you're gonna just have a job, okay, then you need to get to the highest point of that. You need to become leadership in that. In this other video that I'm gonna be doing later, the reason why I'm doing that video is because the woman in the video was saying like, God, the dudes, they're not even in leadership. It's not that it's some of it ain't just that they got a regular job like I do. They're not even the boss of their freaking jobs. How they gonna be the boss of my freaking house? This shit is about being the boss. That's what I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to break this hypergamy thing down to a very, very small way of understanding. This shit's about being the freaking boss, y'all. It's the same shit that we was in high school. It didn't never change. You didn't leave high school. You got to be the best for whatever level you are at. Okay. For women, how do women, you want to know how women going to get to the top of this real easy? It's real simple. You see, a girl she could be right here at this bottom 30%. Because here's the deal. Women, see, we trade across here in resources. Guys trade across this in resources. Women trade back across this in looks and sexuality. You don't need no money to do that. Okay? This is why you can see a broke ass dude with a hot ass wife, because why? They live in the same, she's broke, he's broke, they're the same type of people, but you still got a good looking woman. So one thing I don't understand about this shit is they keep acting like you can't get a good looking woman just because of money. And that's not the case. You might not get a good looking one that's intelligent or get a good looking one that's high level, but you can get good looking women because good looking women are in all of this. It's women that are very attractive in every last one of these doggone quarters. The only thing about it on this side is they can't find a man who's going to have the resources in every last one of these quarters. They can't. That's why the guys that have made it to the top 10% or that they view as the top 10% gonna have access to everybody. Top 10%, top 1%. Gonna have access to everybody. But you gotta notice they won't even take the bottom 30%. They ain't doing it. So a lot of guys are trying to explain this to women in the sense of rules, and I get that. I get the old boys trying to say women need to understand this, but they don't do stuff like that. That's what I try to get guys to understand on this channel. They're not gonna see it that way. It makes sense. It makes sense. But what makes more sense to me is this right here. Screw that. Why tell them anything? Just go stand right here. Work your way up. Shit, stand right here. Stand right here. A lot of guys don't understand. Y'all, this right here, these areas, these are at least leadership positions on your job. That's what they are. You're at least the head of something. That's what that is. If you're not the head of anything, you down here in this bottom 30%. I'm telling you that right now. Women don't differentiate. You either a leader or you are not. Okay? They don't differentiate. There ain't no in between, if, ands, and buts with them. If most guys are paying attention to this, you know I'm telling the truth. There ain't no if, ands, no buts with them and no in betweens. You there, you ain't. It's pretty much that with them. hypergamy been around for a long time, y'all. But the deal of it is, I think what changed this for some of the guys is this right here. See, I understand this. These pyramids that we're looking at right now, I'm understanding this from a different point of view. See, when I was growing up, you didn't get told everybody's going to win. Okay, Kevin Samuels, when I used to watch his show sometimes, he used to say that a lot about women want it all, they want it all, they want to win. But the guys are kind of doing that too. And they don't want to put no work in. That's really what's going on with this thing. I've understood this since I was a child. And it doesn't anger me, or nor does it make me think that women need to understand this. But the reason why is because we was told that you have to compete. Not everybody's going to win. You have to compete. If you want the good shit, if you want the big stuff, if you want what's at the top, you got to go up there and get it. And if you're not willing to go up there and get it, just stay at the bottom and be happy with that. But as y'all can see from the study here, guys, there's only really one. And right now, you're talking to the guys because, like I say, as the guys, you climb this shit. The higher you get up in your jump, the more you get, especially if you get in the leadership positions and stuff like that. That's gonna change the opinion of the women with you at work. You can see that even the women at the bottom don't even present themselves to the men at the bottom. It's really just 30% of people that's really messed up in the guy thing. It's really just like, it's not a whole lot. But the thing of it is that can get even smaller because most guys can start to say, okay, well, I'm gonna get a bit more ambitious. Ambitious don't mean that you're gonna be the CEO tomorrow. Don't mean that. Just mean you're gonna work harder towards getting to those leadership positions and things like that to change some of your status with women. Well, I want to debunk before we get out of here, okay? I told you how to defend against this. Really to exploit it. This system could easily be exploited. Easily. Why? Because the women's choices get slim as hell. The further you go up here, the more to get and shoot, guys. These jokers are really, these guys right here, they really just started to take some, make money too. So they gonna take some of these because it's bottom 30% of women, man. This is like your regular working chick too. You know what I'm saying? Your regular jobs, $15 and below. Walmart, Burger King, cashiering, that kind of thing. And even at the bottom, they're still shooting them. Because if you on their level, bruh, they don't want you. That junk that they be talking, this shit that we see in the manosphere, that's why I started releasing stuff like this. Because, man, that junk is a joke. It's just better to go ahead and tell people the doggone truth. Women at your level don't want men at your level, at their level. Okay. Tarsha just saying that. Well, maybe you ain't seen the Kevin Samuels show. Maybe you ain't watched that Fresh and Fit show. Maybe you haven't went and watched some of these shows with women talking about what they want. I seen a lot of them. Not just the Black Manosphere ones. It's just a bunch of them. I got a lot of them on my channel. Different races of women, and they're all saying the same junk. Kevin Samuels show the same thing. Different races of women, all saying the same thing. It's like going against the grain. For what? Go stand where they can see you. That's how you exploit this. All right? We've defined it. We've told what it is. It's basically dating up, having relationships to a situation where you're going to move up because of that relationship. It's not just in dating. This is Like if you at work, you hang out with your boss more than you do the co-workers because you looking to be the boss. You created a relationship to make something happen that's gonna level you up. Okay. Women's standards for guys that are leveling up, the dudes were saying that's a problem. I don't see that as a problem. The guys should be leveling up anyway. You should be wanting to level up. Forget their standards. You should be going for the top. Not to get them, but because you don't want to starve and you want to have good shit your whole life. What I intended to debunk in this, right, and I hope I have, is the idea that this is like holding men back when it's not. You're holding yourself back. This is the majority of men here. You start to thinning out as the more you get into here. This just keeps thinning out. The numbers keep thinning out. I mean, most guys are here. Like you were just saying, most guys are average workers. I get it. Look what your options are, though. That's what I'm debunking. You better look what your options are. You already know it because the manosphere is telling you, but then they perpetuate something else to you that's bad by telling you it's okay to stay there. Not looking at this chart, homie. Not looking at that chart. You looking at this chart, this telling me that you're gonna be with the lower 20% woman for your whole freaking life. I want to show too that none of these bars from the women's side run straight across, but there's one at the top. This is part of the debunking thing here before we get out of here. This one at the top is the only one that runs straight across. If you notice, there's no other ones that are going straight across. They all go upwards. Anytime they're saying the women are going to try to present themselves to the other side, they're talking about here. Because these women right here don't really have to do it. These guys are coming to get them. That's really what's going on with it. These ones got to do they got to present. They got to try to go over to the other side. And the other side will come to them too. But down here, they ain't even really got to do it because these guys, they're just looking for, at this point, this is where you get your housewives and stuff like that. This is where the women that was calling Kevin Samuels and the women that are doing a lot of this complaining think that they are here. In our reality, those women are here. That's why they get missed. You see how this is working, guys? That's what I keep trying to say. It slims out for them so much once they get to the top that it becomes a disadvantage. So you got all the advantages. I mean, like as far as hypergamy being a disadvantage to you, it's really not. It's really not. Hypergamy is an advantage to men in most ways. It just is. Depending on you. Okay, if you're gonna sit there and be happy with what you got and where you at, then it's a disadvantage for you. I will say that. If you're gonna stay at the bottom, if you're gonna, after looking at this chart, if you go find plenty more of them, you don't really gotta go. You don't even gotta look it up. You already know what it is. All right. If you've been watching Kevin Samuels, if you've been watching any of these shows, if you done turned on TV and seen Ricky Lake or damn Mario, or anything, any of them talk shows, Ayana Fix My Life, any shit. Women start talking about what they want. You're going to see this chart. So that's what it is, guys. This has been hypergamy. Okay? Defended, defined, debunked. Okay? Because it's not a disadvantage to guys. It's easier for you to change your tax bracket than it is for you to change women's minds. I'm just but y'all can go ahead and keep trying. But it ain't gonna work. This is the reason why it ain't gonna work. Because this right here, this chart, this shit done existed for hundreds of years, thousands of years. It's been the truth ever since mankind done walked the face of the earth. Okay? Before I get out of here real quick, let me show you another thing I was telling you about. Women ain't gonna follow rules. That bottom 30% that be calling Kevin Samuels, that was calling Kevin Samuels, recipes, homie. That's always talking about this thing right here that really wants to go here. That Mike can go here and here. Because some of this right here, some guys are telling this, but that's what I'm trying to tell you. You see that rule? You see these rules on here? Guys are understanding they gotta follow these rules. Most of the guys are complaining because if they're the bottom 30%, they're only gonna be able to get this. They can't go no higher. Okay, got you. But it's rules. So guys are following those rules. But women, you could listen to them. Listen to them. They, even though this junk right here is saying plain and clear, these right here want to go there too. And they think they should be able to, and they don't think there's an issue. If you watch Kevin Samuels, you saw it. Don't take my word for it. That man did hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shows with women who was the bottom level chick who was thinking they was finna go marry a doggone prince or some shit. They don't follow rules. That's why you better know the rules about hypergamy and the rules about what's going on around you, so you can follow and make just go ahead and make shit happen for you. Y'all drop the comments. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Hit like, subscribe, share, and get in on the conversation. I don't do that Cash App and all that, so you ain't gotta support me. Support me by getting in on the conversation and telling me what you think. All right? But that's hypergamy, guys. Defended, defined, debunked. This has been Taurus Downey. Go hard, go home channel. Peace.